One of the things that this trick will do, it works great for if you're doing like rim lights, edge lights, light cast shadows, even like flares if you're trying to get a little bit of warmth into the image. And so what you do is if you take a curves, put it on screen, it already kind of makes everything a little bit lighter. Don't change this because it'll make everything much brighter. I would generally darken it a little bit if you need to. And then, for example, I want a little bit more sunlight in here, a little bit more redness. So I'm going to push up the red. I'm going to go to green. I'm going to push up the green a bit to get a little bit of like this orangey yellowish to it. And I kind of like that. And then I'm going to take this and invert it. And already from there, I can go with a nice big brush and kind of paint in a little bit, just a little bit of that warmth light. And something like that that's very subtle will kind of push lighting a little bit so it doesn't feel so flat and will help with lighting direction. Another thing that you can do with this is you can do it for like highlights. So for example, on this briefcase, I want the highlight to be a little bit more prominent. So I'm just going to paint in right here, just on the edges a bit. Make sure it's the fall off is looking right and that it's in the right spot. And that will kind of help emphasize edges and such for you. And it's a good way to kind of make things pop a little bit, depending on what you're doing, make it feel a little bit more interesting. But there's a kind of a quick way to do it just like that. It's not something I use often, but it kind of helps make some elements, depending on what you're doing, feel a little bit more interesting. Feel free to reach out to me and ask me questions about this. There's other ways and other things you can do with this technique.